Okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the City of Bloomington meeting of the council. The time is now 6 o'clock, so we are going to go ahead and call the meeting to order. And if everyone could stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for a moment of silence.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, Madam Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Councilmember Walsh,
Here.
Councilmember Bolin,
Here.
Councilmember Motney,
Here.
Councilmember Becker,
Here.
Councilmember Urban,
Here.
Councilmember Ward,
Here.
Councilmember Crable,
Here.
Councilmember Crumpler,
Here.
Mayor Millawamble.
Here. Next item on the agenda is public comment. Madam Clerk, do we have any public comment?
So we do not have anyone who registered to speak in person or remotely, but we did receive one email, and that was from James Montjoy, and it was provided to council earlier today.
Okay, thank you very much. Next item on the agenda is recognition appointments. I don't believe we have any, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, thank you. And the next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. Is there any item on the consent agenda that anybody would like to have removed?
7H,
7H, right?
yes,
H as in Hector, Hugo,
correct.
Hot. Okay, thank you. Anybody else?
I will make a motion to approve the consent agenda with the exception of 7H.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, so motion by Councilmember Bolin, second by Councilmember Crumpler. And we are going to electronic, right?
We are. Mayor, if I
That's right.
could, I just wanted to make one comment. So earlier today, we realized that there was a mix-up in some of the items in the order that they went into the packet. And so as soon as it was brought to our attention, we addressed the issue. I just wanted to clarify with the public that the packet that is present online is correct with everything there. And all of the items were included, but there was a legal description that was flip-flopped for one of the items. And we've spoken with Corporation Counsel. The agenda was correct. Council has been able to consider all of the appropriate items so we can move forward, but did just want to publicly make that statement. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We appreciate it. Okay, so now we're ready to vote. Okay. Thank you. The consent agenda passes with the exception of item 7H. No nays to announce. And we're now going to move on to item 7H. Councilmember Becker.
The item itself doesn't refer to my company, but in the documentation, it does refer to the company that I work for. So I just can't be a part of that vote.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you. Do you,
I'd be happy to make a motion that we approve 7H.
I'll second that motion.
okay, sounds good. Yes, you need to be a little faster. Okay, sounds good. The item passes. There are no nays to announce. If someone could get Councilmember Becker back. Oh, there he is. Okay, next item on the agenda is item 8A, consideration and action to approve the Iatc Local 193 contract as requested by the Human Resources Department. I'm going to turn it over to Deputy City Manager Gleason. No, Deputy City Manager Tyus.
Mayor, thank you. Mayor and council members, we're excited about this agreement. Actually, Iatc is one of several city bargaining units that we have here in the city. And it stands for International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees, Moving Picture Technicians, Artists, and Allied Crafts of the United States, its territories, and Canada. I think it's worth mentioning that so you know exactly who they represent. They are representing of employees at the arena and the BCPA, which is going to be critical as we continue to ramp up at the arena here in the coming months. This contract, if approved, is a 2-year contract and it's 2.5% increase for employees each year. There are some other items that were detailed in your memo that will explain some of the other things that come as part of the agreement. And that's also found online, as the clerk mentioned earlier. I want to make a point to congratulate our Iatc leadership and also Angie Brown, who is the assistant HR director, and Nicole Albertson, who was the HR director, who both worked on this agreement. And also from Iatc, if you're here and you'll please stand. I think we have Craig Schlandi, who is the Iatc president. Hopefully I said your name correctly. Craig, okay. And Michael Irvin, who is you, who is the Iatc business agent. So thank you for coming. Mayor, if you don't mind, if you want to say something, please feel free. If not, don't feel obligated.
You know, I'm very thankful that this agreement was put together, particularly given the fact, as Billy stated, that we're looking to ramp up activity at the BCPA and the arena. As most of you know by this time, that we've hired an individual to work there as the new director of entertainment. So I'm really looking forward to all of us working together and really some fun, exciting events. Thank you so much for everything you're doing. Are there any other comments from council members?
I'd like to make a motion to approve.
Okay,
Motion
motion by Councilmember Bullen. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, second by Councilmember Becker. Madam Clerk. Okay, thank you. The item passes. There are no nays to announce, so we're going to move on to Deputy City Manager's discussion.
Thank you, Mayor. Phil, if you'll put the slides on the screens, please. The first thing I wanted to speak to was the Illinois Main Street Conference, which is going to be held, as you can see, October 18th through 20th here in Bloomington, Illinois. We were selected to host this conference, and we're super proud of it. It's an honor to be able to host this conference where you're going to have hundreds of people from around the state coming to our community to see our downtown and our city, first of all, but also to learn about items that will help to grow and develop downtowns throughout the state. And so we're excited about the conference. Again, there are a number of people who are going to be coming to see our great downtown, but also to see our community and to learn a lot. And so our Economic and Community Development Department has been working with the state, the Illinois Main Street program to bring this conference here and to put it together. And we're super proud of the work that they've done. So you can still register. So yeah, we're excited about this. Next slide, please, Phil. In conjunction with the Main Street Conference, on October 18th, which is the first day of the conference into the evening, we're going to host cider and sweaters in downtown. And as it says, you can come downtown and wear your sweater and enjoy a warm beverage as you enjoy some of the downtown stores and art galleries, et cetera, et cetera. They're going to remain open late, I believe, and well, obviously until 8 o'clock. So people who are in town can see all that we have to offer downtown, and you can as well. So feel free to come down even if you can't attend the conference. Cider and sweaters, October 18th, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. in downtown Bloomington. Phil, next slide, please. And finally, downtown trick or treat, October 28th from 5 to 8 p.m. in downtown Bloomington. And finally, there are 3 outdoor farmers markets left in downtown Bloomington as well on the Museum Square. May through October, we've been hosting those from 7:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. So there's 3 left. So please, we encourage you to come downtown to take a look at all that the farmers market has to offer. And that's the last slide, but the only other thing I would say is that I believe the city manager sent out an update to you as council members and mayor, where he talked about, if you have a chance, take a drive by O'Neill Park and Pool, and to take a drive by C2 East, which is right outside here, or the library as well. There are a number of large projects that are happening and they're moving forward. And once they're done, they're going to be great additions to this community. I was out by C2 East today, and I believe they've painted and they're tuck pointing, and that building has been an eyesore for a while now. And these are agreements that you approved that are moving forward, and we're excited about them. So we encourage people to take a chance and drive by them to take a look. That's all I got, Mayor.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. I did drive by on Sunday, but had not seen those new developments. So I'm gonna think I might take a drive by on my way out to check it out. But a lot of stuff, a lot of things happening. I'm very excited about the Main Street Conference. This is going to be very nice. There's a couple of different events, a reception and award ceremony, as well as making welcoming remarks at the conference that I'm looking forward to. Last week, I was also at the, it wasn't last week, it was 10 days ago. It feels like a long time ago, but the Heartland, at Heartland College, where they did a groundbreaking for the manufacturing, the advanced manufacturing facility they will have out there. So it was really a great event. And so I try to take advantage of these events as much as possible if time allows me, and it's very nice to be able to get out in the community and see all the positive developments. So really looking forward to all of that. With that, I will turn it over to council members, see if there are okay. Councilmember Crumpler, and then Craybill and Bolin.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to mention that on Friday of last week, I had the opportunity to attend the Immigration Project Luncheon. It was on campus. What an asset to this community, this organization. They've been in existence for over 25 years. They've provided legal services to support families to help navigate immigration law. They do so much for Central Illinois. Our community is greatly enriched both culturally and economically as a result of their expertise and tireless efforts. And it was just quite an honor to be there. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Craybill.
Thank you, Mayor. And I was fortunate enough to join Tom and Donna at the luncheon. And there was a study from the Stevenson Center through Frank Beck, Dr. Frank Beck, noting that there are more than, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, 11,000 immigrants in our community, and they provide an economic benefit of 1.2 billion. Is that okay? All right. Secondly, I just want to say that with the approval of the labor agreement, that I'm glad that our city supports labor, works with labor to reach agreements that are advantageous to both. And then I wanted to mention that today is Indigenous Peoples Day. And I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge the land that we call McLean County's the ancestral land of many native groups, beginning with the Paleo Indians 12,000 years ago, and most recently Algonquin-speaking groups, including the Kickapoo, who were forced west from this area in the 1830s. This Wednesday, the city is helping to host Indigenous People Day celebration at the Bloomington Center for the Performing Arts from 6 to 8 p.m. In cooperation with the Illinois Humanities Rhodes Scholar Speakers Bureau, the Northern Arapaho filmmaker, artist, writer, media educator, and Illinois Humanities Rhodes Scholar Ernest M. Whitman III will present No One Ever Sees Indians, Native Americans in the Media. So I hope everybody can join that event. And just a little bit of history about the city recognizing Indigenous Peoples Day. We, in a proclamation in 2019, we had recognized the fact that the United States was built upon the homelands and villages of the Indigenous peoples. The city recognized the value of many contributions made to our community through Indigenous peoples' knowledge, labor, spirituality, technology, science, philosophy, arts, and the deep cultural contribution that substantially shaped the character of Bloomington, and that the city had a responsibility to oppose the systemic racism towards Indigenous peoples in the United States, which perpetuates high rates of poverty and income inequality, exacerbates disproportionate health, education, and social stability. We recognized this day and voted to have a celebration of this day back in January of 2021 after a council initiative from former alderperson Jen Carrillo. It was unanimously passed. And the resolution acknowledged that upon the arrival of Christopher Columbus to the Americas, this land was populated by people indigenous to the continent who, as part of the colonization, faced dehumanizing treatment, slavery, genocide, and systemic oppression, yet through unwavering strength and resiliency in the face of such difficulties, contributed significantly to the development of this nation. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilmember Bowman.
Yes, I just want to mention that October is National Depression and Mental Health Month. And specifically today, October 10th is World Mental Health Day. This is to remind us to make mental health and well-being a priority for ourselves and each other by practicing self-care when needed. It's also an effort to destigmatize mental illness, and cases of depression and anxiety increased significantly during the pandemic. People are much aware of that. So it's really important to recognize that these feelings are real. They do not indicate weakness, and that you are not alone. Our community has many resources, including PATH, dial 211. And there's a walk-in triage center at the health department. And I just want to say that it's okay to not be okay and to reach out. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, seeing no other lights, is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, motion by Councilmember Bowman. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Becker. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Okay, we are adjourned, and we will see you all next week.